What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we will be going over how to source profitable wholesale suppliers. I will be going through my number one sourcing method for sourcing wholesale suppliers, brands, and companies. Um, this is really the main sourcing method that I think that you should use. It's what has worked best for me. So we're going to dive right into this, and it's going to start with reverse sourcing on Amazon. And what is reverse sourcing? So instead of going to Google and searching directly for brands and companies, we're actually starting on Amazon in a product category and then narrowing it down further into a sub niche. So what I'm going to do is I'm doing this off the head. So let's just choose any old category at random. Um, let's choose health, household, and baby care. So I'm going to search in that category, and on the left here, guys, you will see a, um, a bunch of subcategories for household supplies, child and baby care, vitamins, and dietary supplements. So let's scroll through here. I'm going to choose something at random. Let's look at vitamins. Let's see what's in vitamins. And you're going to get here now a whole bunch of more narrowed down categories, but still broad with a whole bunch of brands in those categories. So let's jump in to any of these. Vitamin B we'll start in. So we're looking now at this page, and keep in mind, guys, this is a front page. This is the front page of Amazon. So you're going to get the best selling products on here. So you're going to want to dive deeper and deeper into more sub niches, and that's where you're going to find the most profitable brands. The brands that not everyone knows about, but may be selling thousands of units a month. And that's the thing about Amazon, guys. There's a ton of brands out there that you and I have never heard of that are performing very, very well. So I'm looking right here and I see, Nature's Bounty, some very large, like GNC, some very large either distributors or brands, and the price point is $8.98, $7.99, nothing really above, like $5. There's going to be very little room for margin at this price. I would bet to believe that Amazon is on this listing selling it for, $8.99 and really not making any profit on the unit. So we're going to want to stay away from those brands, not to mention that if you do reach out to these large companies or distributors, they're going to delegate you down to one of their distributors, and there's going to be little room for profit from there, or you may get the more likely option is they're just not going to deal with small e-commerce Amazon vendors. They're focused on, the CVS, the Walmarts, the large brick and mortar retail distributors. So we're going to go in deeper here, guys. And before I get into this, I just want to touch on this. So I'll reference a couple other documents throughout this. This document is going to be your organizer and wholesale company tracker that you will track all of the companies that you reach out to with the contact information, specifically, the phone number, and then you can make some notes about the company. Later in the video, I will dive deeper into the product analysis page, which you will use for making buying decisions once you get the price lists from the companies. So then this Word doc here, let's say the company does not have a phone number or you can't find the phone number, and that's going to be your first option is make a call and look for a phone number to call the company directly. Let's say the company doesn't have a phone number. What you can do is you can just copy and paste this template, which I will link in the description of the video, and just plug it right into their site and enter in a website inquiry into their product line and just fill in your specific, information. So we will get there. For now, let's start on Amazon reverse sourcing, and then we will dive into my number one sourcing technique, which is storefront stalking. So I'm screening right now, and I'm using two screening criteria, which is price and reviews. Anything below a $20 price point, I tend to stay away from because the margins are going to be a little bit tighter. Um, there are, plenty of products out there that you can make money priced under $20 sell price, but I prefer to stay 20 and above just because that's where I have found the most profit margin personally in my own experience. So it's looking like vitamin B might be um, a little bit underpriced, a little bit out of my price range that I need to make a margin. I'm also looking at reviews. Something like 19,000 reviews is a little bit high. Probably a large brand that is the only one selling the product, or maybe they sell direct to Amazon, or they work with one third-party exclusive seller. That's what you're going to find with a lot of these companies that have 10, 20,000 reviews and sell, 20,000 units a month. So let's go down, and I'm just screening here. All right, so price point seems to be a little bit low in vitamin B. So I'm going to jump out of this category, and I'm going to go back into health and personal care. And keep in mind, guys, I'm doing this off the head, so this is nothing planned. I really want you guys to get a good idea of some raw footage of how I legitimately source. This is what I do to find profitable wholesale companies. Let's jump into sports nutrition, maybe, or maybe let's look at weight loss. Maybe there's some stuff here. So I'm just scrolling and screening. I'm looking at price point. Jump to the next page, and there's 345 pages. So extremely, broad category search. So let's just keep looking, see if we can find anything that may be viable. On the next page. It's a nice price point, $59.99, $49.99. Anything like, Cellucor, C4, it's a huge company, and they are not going to sell to direct to, a small e-commerce vendor. They're going to delegate you to a distributor, a supplement distributor, and you're going to have a tough time finding profit margin there. The order quantity may be less that you have to order from a distributor, but the profit margin is not going to take you too far. So here's one. Let's look at that. Maybe grab one more, and then we will start taking a look at some products. This is just over $20. So let's take a look here. And so $59.99, great price point. It's got 3 sellers. My sweet spot for the amount of sellers on a listing is anywhere from 5 to 10. Anything over 10, I'll do over 10, but the velocity has to make up for it. And anything under 4, 3, you start to get into a situation where the brand may be dealing exclusively with under a handful of sellers, or maybe they just sell it themselves. And that's the other thing, guys. If you see a brand where, you see this says ships from and sold by this seller, that means that seller fulfills it and sells it. They do not use Amazon fulfillment service. So let's say, this was shipped from and sold by Total Life Changes. What that would mean is that the brand owner sells on Amazon. Now, the common consensus is to stay away from a listing like this where the brand owner is on it, and I do agree with that if they are the only one or one of two on the listing. However, if you have, 5, 6, 7 other sellers on the listing and the brand, oftentimes what the brand will do is they will actually go on the listing just so that they can, drive away Amazon resellers because they're probably getting 20 inquiries a day from Amazon resellers and they're getting inundated with emails and phone calls. So they may hop on the listing just, to show these sellers that we have control over our product listing. We are not selling to Amazon sellers. When in reality, you may pick up the phone and talk to them and they may tell you XYZ reason as to why they don't like Amazon sellers. And that's maybe where you can provide some value to them. So we will get into phone calls a little bit versus emails. I always recommend calling the brand over emailing them. Phone calls, phone conversations go an extremely long way. It's literally how I've built my wholesale business on the phone. I've had conversations with brand owners who did not want to sell to me in the beginning, but I provided them that value and I was consistent and persistent with them, not excessively, not being an annoyance, but, providing them value and showing them that I care about the success of their brand. And that is what has gotten me to persuade a lot of these companies to, let's get into a partnership, not just, hey, I want to sell your products on Amazon. And that's going to be for another video. I will get deeper into making phone calls, sending emails, and what to say on the phone, how to provide value to the brand. But for now, let's focus on storefront stalking and reverse sourcing. So here I am on this listing, and my Keepa is not plugged in, but if you use Keepa, it's a great source for gauging and quickly looking at sales velocity and seeing what the price is doing. So, you can look at Keepa and see $59.99. Maybe the price stayed at $59.99 forever. That means that the company most likely has a MAP policy where the company enforces a policy where no seller can go below that $59.99 threshold. Clearly, that this company does not have that, but I'm just hypothetically speaking. So that is great. I seek to engage in agreements with companies where the company has a MAP policy because it provides a lot of protection for me as a seller. The reason for that is I don't have to worry about the price tanking. So my initial profit estimate at the MAP price will always be that profit. I don't have to worry about tanking the price. I don't have to worry about that because the brand, depending on how strict they are with their policy, will warn any seller that goes below the MAP price, or they may just cut them off from distribution. So use Keepa. It's a great tool for screening and gauging velocity. So I'm going to go in here now and look at who is selling this product. So I'm just going to open up a couple storefronts. And now we are storefront stalking. So you're just going to jump on products here. This seller only has 11 reviews, so that doesn't look like a very good, it looks like he sells a lot of books, so probably not going to source from there. Not many reviews here either. Let's see though. Maybe some of this stuff could be profitable. It's got 110 reviews, not bad. All right, I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to go to the next storefront. So here's a good price point, $69.99. Small bottle. There may be room for profit there. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to X that one out. And you can sift through all of the pages in these seller storefronts. So here I am on another product that I initially opened. Look, BELDT Labs, sold by BELDT Labs, and there are no other sellers on this listing. That's something that I'm not interested in. The company has complete control over their Amazon. Here, let's look. So this is also the same situation. Lipozene is the only seller, so we'll get out of there. And let's take a look here. This product ships from and sold by Amazon. This is one of my criteria, guys, when I'm sourcing companies and making buying decisions, is that I pretty much like to stick to a 30% ROI minimum, a $3 profit minimum per unit sale, and no Amazon on the listing. I actually came up with a nickname for this, which is 33 no AMZ. So, I will adjust my ROI and profit depending on who I'm working with. Let's say uh, the product moves very fast in a month. I can sell through a lot of units in a month. I may bring my ROI down to 20, 15, maybe even a little bit lower than 15% because I'm making up for that with the velocity. But if the velocity is a little bit slower, I'm going to look for a higher profit margin and a higher ROI because the velocity is in fact slower. So let's get out of there. Amazon sells it. I'm going to go back to the another category. I just want to get a couple of options that we can do. So now I'm back to reverse sourcing. If I were to go back here, now I'm storefront stalking. So let's grab maybe one more product and see. So let's see here. What's energy and endurance? Open that one up. It's good price points. Only got one 3-star review. Not interested in that. Go back to energy and endurance. See if I could find maybe one more product. And guys, this is what it takes, is kind of sifting and searching through. The process may be a little bit tedious, but once you find those profitable storefronts that you are looking for, and the brands, you're going to start to see what companies sell to Amazon sellers, which sellers deal with those companies. So, you are going to start having more and more success as you dive deeper and deeper. It's almost like it takes you down the rabbit hole when you continue to search and dig for more information. So I'm just scrolling through here. The next page. All right, so let's take a look at what we have here right now. So here's a product. Who sells this product? The Maca team makes it, and the Maca team sells it, and they're the only seller, so we're not interested there. So let's see here, True Wild, True Wild. Let's jump back here. So here's one thing we got to look at, guys. I sourced this product from a seller's storefront. So when you open up a product in a new tab directly from the seller's storefront, you're going to get the only seller on the listing to be the seller's storefront that you sourced through. So what you're going to want to do is you want to grab that ASIN number and plug it back up into the search bar on Amazon so that you can see all of the sellers on the listing. So let's go here. So there's 18 sellers on this listing. It doesn't appear to be a map policy, but we might be able to find some um, profitable products from the seller's storefronts. So now I have 18 storefronts that I can take a look at. And these look like pretty established sellers with a good amount of ratings and reviews. So you're going to start to find the um, the sellers that are selling the profitable products and the brands that you're going to want to reach out to. But it will take some time. So that right there, I just grabbed 3 more seller storefronts, and I'm just going to go through here and kind of look. So um, So that's the process, is just, opening up new tabs and seeing potentially profitable products. And so what the next step is going to be once you have a product that you're looking at. So we're going to jump back here now. So now I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to jump right into searching for the company now. This is the reverse sourcing technique. So now I'm searching for the company in Google instead of searching for companies straight there. I found them by finding the product. So let's see here. So all right, you guys are on the company website right now. And the first thing we're looking for is some type of a contact us or wholesale inquiry um, tab. And it's usually at the top or the bottom of the company website. And here is contact us. So we're going to click on that. And we're looking for a phone number. Guys, like I said earlier, is we're going to look to make calls over emails. And that is really what's going to get you farther in this business. Not that emails are bad, but I think you're going to make a lot more progress on the phone. So here's an 800 number that will most likely put me through to a sales representative. Let's jump back to our spreadsheet, put in the phone number, and I'm going to put in the product name, which is the brand, which is this, and it's a probiotic. Looks like a cream of some kind. So now grab the ASIN number 2 because you're going to want to reference the Amazon product listing to keep yourself organized when you are on the phone with the company. So Ben, we got one company, we have a phone number, and we have a potential product here. So now let's get another one. And what I can do is, so I'll close that out for now, jump back to Amazon, and I'm going to source through a few of these seller storefronts. Just going to find one more. Like, Now is a huge brand. They're not going to sell direct to you as an Amazon seller, at least. Just trying to find one more, guys, just so I can show you. All right, so let's see who sells this product. So again, we're grabbing the ASIN number because we are only able to view one seller right now because we actually sourced through their storefront. And once you guys get good at this process, it's going to go a lot quicker and a lot smoother, and you're going to start to streamline the process. So let's look here. Amazon's on the listing. Nope. So let's see who is on this listing. Grabbing the ASIN, plugging it back into the search bar so I can see what sellers are on the listing. And it looks like Amazon might sell this one too. they do. So guys, keep going deeper, keep diving deeper into different storefronts. You're not going to get it the first time, you know. So let's say, all right, we have another company here, a potential product, which is this company. So we're going to search for that. And sometimes you might have to say, you might not get the company, so you might have to pair it with the product name. And then you might get their website. Sorry, it's taking a second to load in here. So that website doesn't want to load. All right, so I'm going to jump back to the Excel template. Once you guys get a list of, 10 to 20 different companies, start making some calls. You don't want to let this list build up too much to the point where you're stuck and I know it's hard to get on the phone and make calls, but this is what's going to build your business. So you learn as you go. And that's the thing with Amazon FBA is you learn by doing. So the only way to, succeed, the only way to succeed is to do and trial and error. Not every conversation is going to go well. You're going to have a lot of rejection, but the key is, learning from each phone call and providing that value to each company that you try to work with. And pick and choose, guys. Some companies may be like, no way right off the bat, and then it's your decision to choose whether you pursue it any further. So we want to save time here. So once you have a good size list, start making some calls, and then you can make a note. Let's say we contacted this company, and they sent us a price list. So price list sent to email. Now what I can do is once I have um, a few different price lists. So let's say I reached out to 100 companies in a week, right? And I have a 3% account closure rate. Let's say only one of those accounts is profitable. So in order to gain 4 new profitable wholesale products per month, I have to reach out to 100 different companies in a week. So it's a numbers game, guys. That is what Amazon FBA Wholesale is. It's about how much volume can you do in calls. And that is the key to building a successful business and adding profitable products to your inventory. So let's say we got a price list. I'm going to jump right over here and we're going to take a look at this template for a moment. So let's say we have a product. It's XYZ product. We can enter in the ASIN, the UPC code, which the supplier may have in their price list. They may not. If they do, that's great because then you can scan the price list and just copy and paste the UPC codes right into Amazon. And most of the time, not always, Amazon will yield your product. You can enter in the buy cost, the sell price, and all of these, key performance indicators. So profit, return on investment, percentage margin, velocity. So let's just hypothetically take this product and let's say that it sells for $69.99. And let's say it cost us $42.25. So now what we can do is a great tool is the Amazon FBA fee calculator. There's also some great softwares out there like Scoutify. I do use Scoutify. This is free, so it's great if you're maybe just starting. So now take that product ASIN, and guys, this is hypothetically speaking, if this were to be, if we got a price list from this company, paste that and it'll yield the product. So Now we're saying that this is selling at $69.99, and we are saying that it costs $42.25 to you, so a little bit higher of a um, cost and sell price. And then what we are going to do is, so ship to Amazon is generally going to be 50 cents a pound. This is significantly below that, but I like to do 50 cents still, just because it might cost you money to ship the product from the supplier to you, and that just accounts for any extra, potential costs. You always want to err on the side of caution and make the most conservative estimate possible. So now we'll calculate this. It's a $13 profit with just under a 20% margin. Those are good numbers. I mean, this 13 is well above industry average, and actually the 19% margin is right around industry or above average for wholesale. So let's take that. That's our profit. Our margin is about, let's say, 19%. And then what you can do, guys, is just run this through a calculator in Excel. So, our ROI is our profit in relation to what we paid for the product, 32%. That meets our 30% minimum. $13 profit is great. Let's say this sells, 100 units a month, and there's 6 people on the listing, including you. That means our monthly sales, assuming that the buy box rotates equally among each seller, is about 16. And now what you can do is you can take 16 and multiply it by your per unit margin, which gets you about a $220 monthly profit. We can then see how long will it take us to sell through this inventory, So these are the, some key performance indicators that you're going to want to use once you've gotten the price list. And once you've gotten that price list, now you can kind of gauge, if you have a few options to choose from, you can gauge what's going to make you the most money and what you may want to pass on. And so that's pretty much it, guys. I'll just bounce over here for one moment. Like I said, if the company does not have a phone number and you are still interested in the product, don't leave them on the table just yet, just because you can't call them. What you can do is submit this on their website or through email. I will link this in the description of the video, and just input your information here. Sign off with your name, your company name. This looks professional. So, and then a sales representative or someone will get back to you with more information. And when I'm reaching out to the companies, guys, I really want to speak with the brand owner or someone who has a strong say in what goes on. Because if I'm just talking to any old sales representative, they may not know everything about the um, the the distribution process. So you may have to talk to a few people before you get to where you want to be. Um, so that's pretty much it, guys. That is my #1 sourcing method for Amazon FBA wholesale. It's storefront stalking. We can start. If you have no idea where to start, I would say start with reverse sourcing, and then find some products that meet your criteria, and then from there, go through storefronts, and just keep searching for storefronts and keep going through products within the storefronts. And then as you find more products, you can go through more storefronts, and it's just a repeat cycle that you can really streamline and make really efficient once you get the hang of it. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you gained a lot of value from learning my #1 sourcing method for finding profitable wholesale suppliers. This is what I legitimately use. It's actually pretty much the only sourcing method that I use, at least at the moment. So thank you, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of the wholesale content that I put out. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it, and we will talk to you next time.